Hello, East Marion Baptist Church. I wanted to give you a short update on what to expect in terms of worship at East Marion Baptist Church and the next steps that we are taking as a church. This past Sunday, we had a lot of people, our largest since coronavirus shut us down, and it forced us to pull chairs down and this sort of thing, and while still trying to maintain as much social distancing as possible. And we were able to accomplish that this past Sunday. Some, however, may have been uncomfortable with the situation. So we are moving forward with thinking about how to do this. Wanted to help you understand exactly what that's going to look like. This past week, we reorganized our sanctuary to accommodate as many people as we can with social distancing measures in place. Um, and so we are able at this point to fit 84 people in our sanctuary, assuming that those people take up all of the seats set out. So if you are a person who is, one person or two people, I want to ask you to sit in the seats that are clustered together, that are the smallest groupings. And if it's needed for you to pull a seat away, if you're just a single person, that might be necessary, so that a couple can take up the other seat. Our objective is to use the seats that are there so that we can fit as many as we can in a safe way. We are opening up an overflow space tomorrow in one of the classrooms off to the side, and that will uh, be used only as a last resort. Um, we do not want anyone to have to go into the overflow space. We understand that that's disappointing to show up to worship, and it require you to go off to the side. So that being said, try not to show up late. That would ensure that you're able to get a seat, and but don't let that discourage you from coming, because the uh, when we discover that there's a necessity for using the overflow space, that's information that we want in hand to help us to understand exactly how to transition to perhaps two services. Regarding two services, we are not yet ready to begin that, but we are praying about a potential way to do that relatively soon. And here is how that might look. These are all in discussion right now. Don't take these things to the bank, but I wanted you to be aware of what we're thinking and praying about. We are praying about opening up a second service, an early service, perhaps 9 o'clock, perhaps earlier, that would be specifically and only for vulnerable people. These are those who are in risk categories of one stripe or another, or who are simply nervous themselves about associating in the church worship environment. And this service would be buckled down as tightly as we can. All social distancing measures are in place in both of our services. This would also require people to wear masks the entire service. And so, if that's something that you aren't interested in, then you can go to the second service. But the first service is for those who are in need of things being as tight as possible. We're not yet sure when that could potentially start. We will keep you updated on that. In addition to this, we are beginning a childcare, God willing, starting next Sunday, not tomorrow, next Sunday. That childcare will be provided during the sermon time and will be uh, for 5-year-old and younger. Younger to 1 year old, so 1 year old and younger than that, infants. We are not taking care of infants, but 1 year old to 5-year old we are, and those workers will have all personal protection stuff on, and there will be a format for how you deliver your kids, pick up your kids. They will stay in worship through the worship time, and they will exit during the sermon time, so that it is a smaller time that they are going to be back there. In addition to this, we are looking to start up a children's discipleship program once again on Sunday evenings, starting at the beginning of October. We will keep you updated on that as well. Please be in prayer for us as we are trying to make these decisions as wisely and carefully as possible. Please don't let any of this discourage you from coming. We want you to come if you feel like you can. And your presence is not just an encouragement to our worship, it's also a help for us to know how to make the best decisions moving forward as we see what our numbers are looking like. So, really looking forward to continuing to worship with you. I love being your pastor. You are an awesome church. It is a delight every single Sunday. God bless, And I will see many of you tomorrow. Some of you will see me tomorrow on Facebook. Have a good evening.